most important thing, like I said, from day one was to win. And it was a comfortable win in the end. As I said, I thought they did possibly slightly better when they went down to 10. Again, it was a game really where I felt we were in control for large periods. And at 2-0, to be fair, Connor Coulson's made an excellent save, which was our own doing. We were a little bit careless with the ball, playing out from the back. Obviously lost possession, and then Connor's done really well to keep it at 2-0. So, but I thought, in fairness to the game, probably 3-0 flattered them. We had some really good chances. Goalkeeper pulled a couple of good saves off. But delighted for Joe Sellers-West to get a hat-trick. If I was Kelvin, there's no way Joe would have taken that ball off me for a penalty. But they're nice lads, they look after each other, and it was good to see Joe, you know, put that in the roof of the net. And we missed him massively at the start of this season, so to have him back has been a real boost. Obviously getting Luke Dunstan back, we have to look at the extent of what's happened with his knee injury. But you know, it's a clean sheet. I was really pleased. I thought the atmosphere within the group was completely different to the abomination I'd seen a few weeks prior. And just everything just seemed, we were closer back to how I would expect us to be. Don't get me wrong, not perfect. Still a long way short of where we are, where we need to be. But it was a good progressive performance from our perspective. So it's now just a case of backing that up. As I said, we've got a run of games coming up now where, you know, we want to go on a decent run, and we can't look anything past Saturday, which I'm expecting a real tough one. But you know, I was really humbled by again another great turnout from the crowd. I think it was 250. And for a side, really, we haven't really given them a great deal to cheer about in the last couple of games. So to see that turnout was really touching, and I was very impressed with that. So a big thank you to all the supporters for coming out. And I'm glad that we gave you guys a win and got ourselves, you know, a much needed 3 points to sort of get that momentum back again. And now we've got to go and back it up. So there have been changes within the dynamic of the squad. Firstly, you know, departing, I'd like to thank both Robbie Goodman and Carl Faulkner for their service to us, their loyalty. You know, I've thoroughly enjoyed working with the both of them, and it's like anything in football. Sometimes these things happen where you have to make tough decisions, but you know, I wish them both well. They'll always be welcome back here at any point, and you know, I wish them well with their prospective careers, you know, both on and off the field. On a plus point, you know, I'm delighted to be able to announce, you know, 2 additions. Firstly, Jesse Amu, we're bringing him in on a dual registration from Barton Rovers. So a big thank you to Jermaine Hall and all those at Barton for making that happen. Big physical presence, can obviously play as both a centre half and a defensive midfielder, and a player that I was massively impressed with last season. You know, he had those leadership qualities at Potton, and he brings a good age. You know, he's great athleticism, loads of personality, good character, and will fit in really well to this group. So it'd be good to introduce him to the group this evening and get him ready for the squad on Saturday. And then secondly, delighted to announce that we've agreed a deal to sign Jake Anthony, a front player that I've admired for a long period of time. Obviously know him well from his Harpenden days, and feel he really adds to the group. And unfortunately, due to certain regulations and a bit of red tape at the FA, we won't be able to see him in a Dunstable Town shirt till the 17th of October at home to Olsey, where he'll make his debut. But yeah, just delighted to bring him on, and I must again thank AFC Welling for the way that they've handled that. They haven't stood in the players' way. They've been really good about that. So, you know, 2 clubs that have gone out their way to help both players, you know, sort of move on and join our club. So huge thank you to them. Here we've got 2 7-days that expire tomorrow out, so we're going to be having conversations with another 2 tomorrow. And it's a case of, you know, I've always said, if we're bringing players in, they've got to be better than what's already here. We certainly feel that with both Jesse and Jake. So delighted to get them both on board. Both great characters, good attitudes, want to be here for the right reasons. And you know, I feel they're going to give us that much needed impetus and that much needed push now to kick on. And hopefully these other 2 that we speak to tomorrow, it's the right deal for them and the right deal for us, and we can hopefully bring those in. So exciting times. We always like new additions, and yeah, very much looking. I like the look of the squad at the moment, especially, you know, when you got your Joe Sellers-West back, you've got that gives us a big boost. And like I said, there was a lot of good performances on Saturday. Like anything, we've got loads of room to improve as a squad, but the squad dynamic at the moment feels a lot better. There's a lot more personality within the group. A lot of people are getting back to the players that I knew back in the last season, not the players that have turned up and perhaps coasted a little bit too often this season. So expecting a good reaction again on Saturday. Very tough place to go. Obviously we had a bit of a disaster there last year. Went there, lost 1-0 in a game which I was, rightfully very critical of our group. I felt that we didn't show the right attitude, and attitude's going to be massive on Saturday, absolutely massive. Sheffield this season, I'm surprised with their league position, but as I said, they're always a tough opponent. We had some tough games against them last year. I think when you look at it, they put us out the FA Cup. They then obviously beat us in the league, and albeit that we then beat them in the league. But it's a tough place. The pitch is always quite tight. It's quite an open arena. Pitch is always decent, to be fair, so that should be conducive, allowing us to play a certain way on the day. But one thing I've said to our lads, and the message tonight will be very, very simple. If we turn up with a God-given right and a divine right to think that we could go anywhere at this level and win, we'll come unstuck, and it'll be a very disappointing Saturday afternoon. So what we have to do is just ultimately make sure that we do enough to win games of football, and we've got to go there with the right mentality, right attitude, right application, and hopefully if we can do all that, then our ability will ultimately come through and get us a much needed 3 points. So again, another away one. We've got 3 away games on the spin now, so our away form's going to be tested, and we need to get a level of consistency on the road. London Lions have had some interesting results this year. They seem a side that on their day can turn up and really turn teams over, and then maybe they lack the consistency a little bit at the moment, a little bit like we have. So it'll be a Wednesday night game, which is something that's new for our players. Obviously that changes the schedule in terms of next week, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. We've got to go there and find a way to win, and like I said, I'm told the pitch over there is decent, and we've got to just keep going back to, you've got to make sure your attitude and application spot on every single week, and it'll be a tough one for us, but most importantly, as I said, we've got to go there and find a solution and find a way to win. That's all that matters, and as long as we get 3 points, it'll be a great place to go.